opportunity to introduce our next guest with an undying ambition and enthusiasm, Mr. Binesh Menon. Sir, may I have your permission to please begin? Thank you, sir. Sir is head learning and development at Emerson Electric Company with a rounded experience of over 14 years. He has received citation on being one of the 25 most talented training and development leaders in Asia by the World HRD Congress in February 2014 and one of the 40 most talented training and development leaders in India by the National Training and Development Congress in June 2014. Sir is currently heading the India Learning and Development Functions for Emerson Electric Company and an experience of delivering more than 650 training programs for over 11,000 participants. Sir is also responsible for providing structured learning and development opportunities to employees and leaders across Emerson entities in India. Some of his other specializations are designing and implementing comprehensive leadership development framework based on Korn Ferry competencies, organizational diagnostics, survey, interventions in systems and processes for development strategies, change management and building synergy, responsible for creating strategies and execution of succession planning, talent reviews, talent development, leadership development, building leadership pipeline, career development and employee engagement, initiatives and processes. Sir conducts training identifications across levels based on focused interviews and competencies gap analysis, leading to annual and quarterly training calendars, monitoring and assessing training metrics, data and reports to align with organizational objectives.
Sir has garnered his knowledge from various earlier working places like being the specialist, learning and development, John Deere, and prior to that with the Tata Business Support Services. Sir has completed his graduation in commerce in the field of marketing and costing, and further his master's in business administration, specialization in marketing. He also garnered extra knowledge through double masters in commerce in philosophy from the University of Pune. Sir's colleagues find him a very detail-oriented and a passionate professional in his field. He is a down-to-earth person, very helpful, along with a learned individual and a balanced team player. He has an amazing ability to keep his crowd mesmerized through his talks. Without speaking more now, I would really like to hear it from Sir. We are very happy to have him with us today, sharing his view for our development. With this, may I request Sir to kindly address the batch.
It's good to see you guys. And I was just telling Sir when I walked in, I didn't expect you dressed up in formals, and this is really nice. I feel overly underdressed at the moment, but fair enough. Govind Sir had reached out to me, I think about a month back, right? And he mentioned that he's going to get a fresh bunch of youngsters here and he would like me to come and speak to them. And he also gave me the freedom to choose a topic, and that's the topic that I've chosen. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. Yeah? Would you like to talk about life? Yes, sir. Whose life? Mahatma Gandhi's. Whose life do you want to talk about? Wow. You don't mind if I stand up just for the visibility of those who are at the back, and for next train for the people who are sitting in the front. So your life, yeah? Do you talk about your life often? Who do you talk with? Friends. And what kind of conversations do you have? What do you talk about? Secrets that you can't reveal here, is it? Okay, so life is life for each one of us. Your life is different from your friend's life, is of course different from my life, or you know, Sir's life here, and so on. And we all have our own experiences, our own analysis, our own understanding about life, right? What I'm going to be doing here over the next hour and a half, how much ever time you would permit me, is share my perspective on life based on whatever little experience that I've garnered over the period of time, right? So you willing to do that? Yes. Embark on a journey of life? Yes, sir. Okay. I wish you could have read that. All right, let me read it out to you because I don't think the light is doing justice to it. What lies behind us and what lies... Love? I could have just wished for a Rolls Royce at the moment and it would have happened. All right. What lies behind us and what lies ahead of us or before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us, said Ralph Waldo Emerson, bearing no connection to my organization, which is also Emerson. But what do you think this quote means? I love to start with this one. But what does this mean to you? What lies behind us? What lies behind you? Your past. And in your case specifically, what is it? Where you come from. I believe most of you have relocated from whichever city you've grown up in. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, so you've left a lot of things behind. What lies before you? And in your case, what is it? Your career, your 2 years here, and following those 2 years, you know, your careers in terms of whatever field you choose, whatever profession you choose, your careers there, yes, are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. What lies within you? Is that all that lies? Yes, ma'am? Our knowledge lies within us. Very nice. Thank you so much. Any other thoughts? Do you have a point? Oh, you just stood up because you were bored. Doesn't matter. What lies within you? Come on. Yes? Yeah, you. Go ahead. Or are you waiting for the mic? Or sorry, my bad.
Good morning, sir. My name is Diksha.
Hey, Diksha.
Uttar Pradesh. Sir, our behavior, our knowledge, our attitude lies within us.
Wonderfully said. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. And that was my question. Our behaviors, said our friend. Right? How can you make out behaviors? Based on your actions. Behaviors are observable. Right? So anything that you do is a behavior. I can see your behavior. Attitude. Is attitude observable? No, right? You can see the behavior which is coming out of a certain attitude, but you can't really see the attitude. Attitude is what we are, right? And hence it's our point of view. And how are attitudes formed? How are attitudes formed, do you think? Yeah? Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Either of you and both of you could go ahead. Okay?
Good morning, sir. My name is Niharika Kishore. I am from Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
Sir, our attitude depends on our emotions and views and thoughts.
Emotions, views, and thoughts. Thank you so much. You had something to add? Yeah? Same thing, exact same thing.
The way of thinking.
The way of thinking, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Farid Saudagar.
Hey.
I am from Kolhapur, Maharashtra. Attitude depends upon environment, sir.
On environment. Yes, and all of that makes sense. And most importantly, our experience of interacting with the environment and our thoughts and what we come up with. So it is basically driven by what we have experienced over a period of time. From the time that you were born till this moment, right? Every experience that you have had, good or bad, has shaped your attitude. And that's how it's going to be in the future as well. Persona is our image, which is also something that we portray. So persona lies within us, which we portray to the world outside, which has got a lot to do with our external appearances. The way you're all immaculately dressed today, that's a persona, right? And there is a reason why your institute wants you to dress up like this, because you want to project a certain persona to anybody that you interact with, right? All these things are what we call above the surface. In terms of human psychology or human behavior studies, when you look at it, your your behavior, your attitude, your persona is kind of above the surface. There are a few things which are below the surface. And when I say above the surface and below the surface, I'm kind of referring to, let's say, are you familiar with an iceberg? Yes. Yeah? What's the quality of an iceberg? What's the characteristic of an iceberg? Yes, please? Hey.
Good morning, sir. My name is Kunal Sen and I'm from Bhattapara, Chhattisgarh. Iceberg, 1/4 part of the iceberg is above the sea level and 3/4 it's below sea level.
Yeah. In fact, actually they say that 1/10 is what is visible, 9/10 is below the surface, which means only 10% of it is visible and 90% is below the surface. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you,
Right? And that's how you and me are. Each one of us, we are like an iceberg. What is visible is only 10% of who you are. 90% of who you are is not visible. Not visible to your friends, family, relatives, not visible to you yourself. You don't know 90% about yourself. Were you aware of that? You don't know 90% about yourself, friends. You don't know a lot about yourself. Yeah. For example, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? Yeah. Or you could just tell me, go ahead. You don't wait for a mic every time, guys. It's a small room. All right.
Sir, red.
Red. Why is red your favorite color?
I like it.
Why is red a favorite color? Because she likes it. Do you think that's a logical reason? And similarly, thank you so much. You could take a seat. Similarly, for each one of us, you would have thought about your favorite color at this moment. Can you tell me why you like it? Yes.
Good morning, sir. My name is Akash Agarwal and I'm from Calcutta, West Bengal. So I like blue, and I think I like blue because I think blue projects my persona the best possible way.
But is there a logical reason to it?
I think so.
You've always liked blue? Ever from the time that you were a small child, you've liked blue?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah? And at that time you didn't even know what persona meant. But you still like blue.
Yes, sir.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. There is no, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
There is no logical reason why certain things happen. Why we like the color we like is driven by the 90% below the surface. There is no logical reason to it. It's just the way it is. Many of us like to eat sweets. Some of us like to eat sour tasting things. Some like to eat spicy things. Why? I've always liked it. There is no why to it. From the time that I was a small child, I've always liked eating things that are sweet. Right? So where did that come from? It's not from the conscious world. I didn't consciously choose to like the color blue or the color red or to like sweet things. I always liked it. Those things are driven from our unconscious. There are a lot of things that are driven from our unconscious. For example, our motives. There are different motives. Now, when we study behavioral sciences, it tells us that human beings are driven by primarily 3 motives, right? Either it could be something called an achievement motive, which is the people who are extremely competitive. They want to achieve things. They want to close things. They want to, be better than everybody else. That's achievement-oriented. And then the other motive is power motive. There are some people who are driven by power, which means that I want to influence more and more people. I want to make a difference, right? In some way or the other. Power could be a positive, power could be a negative, I don't know, but power motive. And the third is something called affiliation motive. Affiliation means the need to be liked by people, right? So people do whatever they do based on their motive, right? And they could be driven by any one of these 3 motives, either achievement, affiliation, or power. Okay. And then there are values. Where do we get our values from, you think? From? Family, alright. From our childhood, you always had your values imbibed from the time that you were a small child. Is that right? Okay. And then there is something which is inertly you as a person. Who you are. That's often referred to as the core. Everything else is made up around the core. but somewhere deep down there is that person who you are, and that's your core. All right. Now all of these things together lie within us and make us who we are. So when we looked at the first quote of what lies ahead of us and what lies behind us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. These are the things that are lying within you. If you really want to make a difference in your life, you need to concentrate on all of these things which are within you. Yeah. Leonardo da Vinci said this: learn how to see, realize that everything connects to everything else. Everything connects to everything else. There are no random things that happen in this world. There is always a reason, and everything is connected to everything. There is a reason why you are here in this room right this moment. It is because of a series of things that have happened over a period of time because of which you are here. If anything would have happened differently, you wouldn't have been here at this moment. Do you agree? Right? Any one choice, any one decision at any point of time would have taken you on a different path. You're here because of the choices that you have made over a period of time. Similarly, I'm here for a reason. I'm here because I'm meant to be here right now. Right? There are no coincidences. Okay? And everything is connected to everything. Now that you're here, what do you want to get out of here? At the end of 2 years, when you pass out from here, what you want to be, where you want to go, you have to make a conscious choice and a decision of where you're headed. Like you have come till this point based on the decisions that you've made in your life. Where you go from here also depends on the decisions that you're going to take in your life. Please remember, there are no random things that happen in life. Everything is a conscious choice. Either it is your conscious choice or it is somebody else's conscious choice. And that's the most important lesson about life that I would want you to remember. Okay? Think about life as a car. Yes? You can choose to sit in the driver's seat of that car and drive to wherever you would like to take your life. Or you can choose to sit in the passenger seat of that car and wait for anybody to drive it till wherever they choose to drive it and get off from that car and walk away. But you can't get off from your life, right? So you have to stay in the car. Either you can wait in the passenger seat and wait for drivers to come in and drive them and drop you somewhere, which is what has been happening with your life pretty much. Your parents have been driving your car, one way or the other, right? Or your elder brother, sister, relatives, or anybody. People will keep driving your car till such time that you don't make a conscious choice to move to the driver's seat. The longer you continue sitting in the passenger seat, people will keep, and no one's interested in taking your car anywhere. People are only interested in going where they like to go, or what they believe is in your best interest. I'm not saying that they have bad intentions. They have all the good intentions, right? But they don't know what you want. They will take you wherever they believe is the right place to take you, right? It's a lot easier to continue sitting in the passenger seat. And most people, for most of their life, continue sitting in the passenger seat. I have met 60-year-olds, I have met 70-year-olds who have lived their entire life sitting in the passenger seat, never making the effort to shift a little and sit in the driver's seat, because it's so much easier to just sit there. It's so much easier to sit in the passenger seat of a car, isn't it? You don't have to do anything, and if there is any problem on the way, you get to crib and you get to curse and you get to blame somebody else, saying, यार तुम्हें बोला था ऐसे नहीं चलाते, देखो फिर से गलत चलाई तुमने गाड़ी, ओहो देखो यहाँ ट्रैफिक है, मुझे तो पता ही था यहाँ ट्रैफिक होने वाला, देखो अटक गए फिर से, right? But you're not sitting in the driver's seat. You're just sitting there and complaining. So make that choice. Where do you want to be with your life, with your life car? Do you want to continue in the passenger seat, or do you want to make that switch to the driver's seat? The driver's seat is a tough job. A, you've got to drive, which is difficult. Instead of sitting back like a big Saab, you got to sit in the front and you got to drive your own car. You will face challenges, you will face problems along the way. And the worst part is, you don't get to blame anybody for the problems that you face. You can't blame, you've been driving, you can't blame anyone. The driver doesn't get to blame anybody. Right? It's your choice. Now make that choice. Where do you want to be? Okay? And this is the right juncture for you to make that choice. You're at that point where you can make that choice today. Does that make sense? Yes. All right. A few questions for you. And I don't need answers for this. I just want you to think about it. Why are you here? Why are you here in this room? Why are you here in this institute? Why are you here in this city? Why are you doing what you're doing? Are you really sure that you want to do an MBA? I don't know. I don't need your answer. You need to answer yourself. Why are you here? I see a lot of you are writing down things. I would strongly recommend, please write down these questions. And whether you are able to give me the answer or think about the answer now or not, please spend time answering these questions for yourself over the period of the next week, 10 days, a month, I don't know, however long it takes you. Think about it as much as you can. Why are you here and what got you here? Think about all the decisions that you have made or somebody else has made on your behalf because of which you are here. What got you here? Why am I here? What got me here? And the most important question for you at the moment, where are you headed? Not what's going to happen after the induction program and not what's going to happen after you pass out, but overall, where are you headed in life? How old are you guys? Like 20, 19, 20? 21. 21, yeah. About time you thought about where you're headed, right? 21, you're an adult. Got to start taking responsibility now. Of nothing else but your life. Start taking responsibility of your life. Stop blaming other people for anything. Right? Think about where you want to go, where you're headed. Once you have a picture of where you want to go, then the real work starts in terms of how do I get there. But you know what? What will get me there is a lot easier to answer than where am I headed. Many of us don't have answers for this question today. Where am I headed? And it's not you, because you're just starting off, right? You're 21 years old, you're just starting off. Lovely. You don't know where you're headed? Big deal. I know of people who are 40 and 50 and who don't have a clue where they're headed. The same driver's seat, passenger seat story. They've just been there. And life is kind. You will get good things along the way. Even if you choose to sit in the passenger seat, no problem. Life is kind. Kuch na kuch अच्छा ही होगा. Right? But are you sure that's what you want? Or do you want more? We are our choices. Everything that you are today is a choice that you have made, either consciously or unconsciously. Or it's a choice that you didn't make and somebody else made that choice. So we are our choices. Not making a choice is also a choice. I hope you're aware of that. Yeah. So whatever has happened in your life has been only because of your choice. Have you ever come to that point where you don't like something? So if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Whatever you do, don't complain. Don't complain to your family, don't complain to your friends, don't complain to your professors, to your institute. There is no point in complaining. You don't know anything about our country, either you can change it or you accept it, but don't complain. Complaining doesn't help. It doesn't help anybody. And most of all, it just harms you the most. Right? Every time your mind is in that complaining mode, you're channeling negative emotions inside of you. So the next time you are tempted to complain about something, remember this. You are not a tree. Please remember that. If you're in a situation that you don't like, please move. Do something. Make that change. Right? You are not a tree. Can you do that? All right. And I give you the secret to happiness. Yeah, so this is, you've heard of a guy called Stephen Covey? They wrote a book long ago called 7 Habits of Effective People or Highly Effective People. Doesn't matter if you haven't heard of it, I'm very sure it will be there in your college library, right? Please read it whenever you get to it. And he talks about this concept over there. He doesn't call it the secret to happiness. I call it the secret to happiness. But the concept that he introduced is circle of concern and circle of influence, right? Now, why is this the secret of happiness? I shall tell you in just a bit. Circle of concern, let's understand what's a circle of concern first, right? Can you tell me random things that you are concerned about at the moment? Anybody? And you could just yell out, guys. I know there's a lot of discipline in here and you don't speak without the mic, but go ahead. I'm sure sir will not mind. We need some energy happening in the room. So, randomly, just tell me, what is it that you're concerned about right this moment? Anybody? Yes, please. Go ahead. Just yell out. Yeah, go ahead. Good career. Good career. Thank you. Anybody else? What are you concerned about? Yeah, go.
So it's for recording purpose.
It's for recording purpose. Recording. Oh, okay. Technical issue. All right, my bad. Good. I will scream it out. Why don't you just say what you have to say and I'll scream it out.
Good morning, sir. My name is Reshma Das.
Yes, Reshma Das.
My concern is, will I be able to fulfill my expectations?
Will I be able to fulfill my expectations? And we got career over there. Thank you very much. Anybody else? What are you concerned about right this moment? Right this moment. Not over a period of 2 years. Right now. Are you concerned? Is anybody concerned about lunch? That lunch might be delayed because the earlier session was delayed and I don't look like I'm going to be ending soon. Are you concerned about that? Really? That's a genuine concern. You should be concerned about lunch. No? Okay, what are you concerned about at this moment? Anybody? ऐसा कोई है जिसका अभी तक hostel accommodation नहीं हुआ है या घर नहीं मिला है, room नहीं मिला है? No. Do you all have like accommodation provided by the college and stuff? Yes. Good for you. Any other concerns? पैसा खत्म हो गया है, घर से पैसा मंगवाना है. Genuine concerns, guys. Honestly, I don't want your textbook B school answers. Yes, please. Now that's a genuine concern. Thank you so much. Please take a seat and don't strain yourself too much. So, he's got fever. That's a genuine concern. What else are you concerned about?
Sir, my name is Nitin Gulani. I am from Ahmedabad, Gujarat.
Hey.
My concern is washing clothes.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we are talking. Those are our genuine concerns. Thank you so much. What else are you concerned about right this moment? Go ahead. I will scream for you. Go ahead. Say.
It's for recording purpose.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Why don't you turn towards the camera so that they can see you? Hey, there.
Good morning, sir. My name is Shivani Kank and I'm from Itarsi, Madhya Pradesh. Right now, my roommate hasn't arrived yet, so I'm very concerned about her, how she will be and when she will come.
Thank you so much. Yes, God knows who that person is going to be.
Yes,
and what is she going to be like? And I have to
Yes, sir.
spend the next 2 years with her.
Yes, sir.
Genuine concern. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Good morning, sir. I am concerned about washing clothes and strings of guitar.
And what strings of guitar? समझ नहीं आया क्या प्रॉब्लम है स्ट्रिंग्स को
Sir, it's,
टूट गई हैं
yes, sir.
वेरी गुड जेन्युइन कंसर्न यस मैम
Good morning, sir.
Hey.
My name is Kusum Gupta and I am from Calcutta, West Bengal. Well, my genuine concern is that I want to talk to my mother because she's sick.
See, thank you. Yes. Now, is anybody concerned about like larger things? We've looked at immediate concern. Is anybody concerned about larger things? Economy of India, President, is he the right president? Is anyone concerned about Donald Trump? Traffic in Hinjewadi? You guys are just new to Hinjewadi, so you should know that is a genuine concern. Yeah, is anyone concerned about that? What other concerns? What larger concerns do you have? We heard career and things. Are there any larger concerns at the moment? No? Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, those are all the concerns that you have, and I'm sure like everybody's got a list of like 20 things. Even those of you who've not shared, I'm sure you've got at least 20-30 things that you're concerned about right this moment, right? Now, of all these things that you're concerned, let's call it the circle of concern. What are the things that you can influence out of this? For example, my roommate has not arrived yet. Is there any influence that you have in this situation? No, you don't know who that person is going to be. That could be anybody, right? It could be a mass murderer for all we know. But it could be anybody, right? Thank you so much. You have fever at the moment. Is there any influence you have on that at the moment? What can you do? And please continue sitting. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Can you do anything about it? What's in your influence? How do you rectify the situation that you're in?
Sir, every day, sir, I got fever, so I'm taking medicine, but it's not improved at now.
And how many days since you've been?
Sir, it's almost 10 days, sir.
Almost 10 days. Do you plan to do something about this? Or do you continue to pop medicines like this, or do you want to do something about this?
Yes, sir, I will go to meet with doctor.
Right?
Yes, sir.
That's in your influence. Thank you. Thank you so much. Things like washing clothes. What's the influence that you have? What's the influence that you have on that?
So I never washed clothes before, and now I have to learn that.
So your influence on it is either I can learn how to wash clothes. Do you have other options?
No, sir. Yes, I have.
What are your other options?
To give that wash to the laundry shop.
Laundry वाले को दे दो, but फिर concern ये है कि पैसे खर्च हो जाएंगे, right? What other possibility is there? Washing machine खरीद लो, 3-4 लोग मिलके डच करके washing machine खरीद लो, अगले 2 साल.
We are not allowed to.
You're not allowed. Okay, so that's not an option for you. Buy रख लो, that is also not allowed. Okay, whatever. But you see my point. Thank you so much. There are numerous things that you could do for each of the concerns that you have within your influence. Now, for example, he said that I cannot buy a washing machine because the rules don't allow that, right? So that's not in my influence. Now, the possibility and the reason what I'm arriving at is I am concerned about washing clothes. Correct? I could continue being concerned about washing clothes, and I could keep increasing my circle of concern. मैं यार बहुत परेशान हूँ, कपड़े धोने पड़ते हैं, and then added to it एक और परेशानी है of this, that, and all the things which are not in your control. You can keep thinking about it and keep worrying yourself forever and ever and feel miserable about it. Or you can start focusing on the things which are in your influence. What can I do about it? I am concerned about this at the moment. What can I do about it? And you start thinking on those lines, and you'll be able to figure out, right? I don't like washing clothes. What are my options? I can start liking washing clothes. I can wear clothes which are not washed. I can get used to the fact that I wear clothes that are not washed. I can get it washed from somebody else. I can figure. Once you start focusing on the options, you will get a lot more options. And then there are certain situations where you have zero control. Even the one about the roommate, probably you have some influence, right? In the sense that, let's say the roommate comes and you don't like the person, you could go and complain to somebody and request them to change or whatever. Or you could be a nasty roommate and she only decides to leave you and go. There could be numerous things within your influence that you could do at every point in time. The idea is, what's your focus? Where are you focused? Are you focused only on the concern, or are you focusing on the influence that you have? The more you start increasing your circle of influence, right, you will keep reducing your circle of concern, because more and more things you will have influence over, and fewer things will start bothering you. And things like, Donald Trump may not be the best president for America. If that's your concern and you have zero influence over it, well, either you accept it or you just completely drop it from your circle of concern. Stop thinking about it. It doesn't matter. Like fuel prices are rising, economy of India, we don't know what it's going to be like 2 years from now when you pass out. You have no control over such things, right? So you can be concerned about it all along and keep worrying ki I hope the economy is good, I hope there are jobs, I hope companies come, I hope I get selected, right? You can continue to be concerned about it, or you can focus on what's in your influence. What's in your influence? Career. Somebody said career was a concern, right? And I'm pretty sure that's a concern which is across the room. Is that right? Yes, sir. So you could be concerned about a lot of things regarding your career, but what are the things that you have influence over? What can you do that will influence your career? What are your options? Study. Okay. Is that it? Yes? Hard work. Thank you. Hard work, sincerity, all the nice things we write in our resume, right? Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. So sincerely and hardworkingly I prepare for my studies. Is that what you do? You study. Yes. And where else do you put in that hard work? What else can you do with it?
So we can in studies we can study smartly and sincerely to achieve our goals.
All right, thank you. So study is the only option I've got. Thank you so much. Is the only option I've heard so far. Is there nothing else in your influence besides studying right now? You're telling me for the next 2 years you're only going to study and you think that that's going to help you get a job? Really? Yes, please.
Morning, sir. My name is Sohail Khan and I'm from Indore.
Okay.
And we could plan well for the future so that we can work on our plans and achieve the required goal.
Sure. Can you give me an example of what kind of things will you work on?
So basically we could manage our time.
Yes,
first of all.
Very good.
Secondly, what I think is important is to understand what is to be done. If you don't understand what is to be done, then you could land up nowhere.
So those questions that I asked in the beginning, right? Where are you headed? Where do you want to go? How will you get there? Spend time reflecting on these questions, on where you want to be in your life, and then you put that plan in place which will allow you to get there. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. What? Have high expectations. Who should you have high expectations from? Absolutely. And only ourselves and nobody else. Nobody else. Nobody will live up to your expectations. So please have expectations only from yourself. Of life, which I presume all of us do, don't waste time. For time is what life is made up of. Never waste time. Does that make sense? Because that's what life is made of. Remember that whenever you're wasting time, you're wasting life. Do something worthwhile with your time. And the value of time is such that in your prime, like right now you're in your prime, the value is the highest. As you start progressing, the value of the time kind of starts reducing. By the time like you're 85 years old, doesn't really matter because you've lived a lot of your life. So what you do with your time, then you can sit leisurely somewhere and play chess and take long naps and things like that, because value of the time has depreciated by then. Right now your time is priced at the highest. Value it the most. Don't waste even a single second of it doing anything which is not productive. Yeah. But for all that you need to know where you're headed. Get a plan, get a goal, and get after it. And that is all I have. Right? So unless you have any questions, I am done here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such an interactive session. I'm sure the batch has acknowledged the session. Please take a short break of 10 minutes and be back for a fantastic session.